Execution is getting things done. Today we're talking about the second key to consistent execution. This is your weekly kick. Hey, good morning. Welcome to your weekly kick. Today we're talking about the second key to consistent execution. If you look behind me, what you're going to see is the finish line to a marathon. You may be thinking, Todd, that doesn't look like a finish line, it just looks like a street. Well, it is, except when they put up all the things that go along with a marathon. The start line, the finish line, all the people, the barriers, and everything that goes into making a marathon work for several thousand people. And that's what this was. Several years ago, my wife ran a half marathon, and this is where you finished, whether you ran the 10K, the half marathon, or the full marathon. This was the finish line. Every race has a finish line. This is what we want to talk about today when it comes to execution. For me, I hate running. It's not something I would ever do for fun. The only way I would do it is if there was a bear or something chasing me. So I'm not going to enjoy running. Running isn't the only sport that uses a finish line. Stock cars, Indy cars, F1 racing. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be drag racing, it could be a horse race, it could be a bike race. It could be a relay race. It could be a swimming race. We all have the finish line. That's what we want to talk about today. This is the second key to ensuring and creating consistent execution, no matter what we're doing. We need to set deadlines. We need to set those finish lines all along the way to our goal. Not just one finish line, but we need a number of them so that we can measure where we're at, so we know that we're actually progressing towards our goal. We need to be able to evaluate ourselves as we go along. Not just do we reach our goals or not, but how are we doing as far as getting there. Here's what I mean by setting deadlines. So I'm just finishing up my latest book, More Than a Hammer, Leadership Tools for the Trades, Part 2. Well, I've had to set deadlines all the way along so that I can measure, am I reaching my targets every day? One of my targets was to write one page summary per chapter, and then it was expand that to a 3-page summary for every chapter. And then once I've reached those targets and those goals, it's like, okay, let's type it in, and then it's the editing, and then it's getting it to the printer, and then it's formatting it, but for Kindle or for PDF or whatever it's going to end up being. We need those targets. We need deadlines, not just targets, but deadlines, when we're going to reach them. We need to have action steps that we're going to achieve and finish on certain times, whether it's actual time or whether it's a date. We need deadlines. Here's what our deadlines need to be. 3 things. They need to be specific. What am I doing? How am I doing it? We need to understand this. We need to know this. So specific. Secondly, they need to be measurable. We need to be able to know, are we reaching our deadlines? Are we reaching our targets? How am I doing? We need to evaluate ourselves along the way. So we don't get to the end when we're supposed to be reaching our ultimate goal and going, oh, I'm still way back here and I should be over here. I'm nowhere near the finish line. Thirdly, they need to be doable. It's easy to set goals that are way outside, we hear people say, dream big and go set your goals way beyond what you can reach. Well, yeah, we need to set goals that are beyond our capability at this moment. But when we're setting deadlines, they need to be doable. They need to be realistic. They need to make us stretch, don't get me wrong. But they need to be doable. So, 3 things: they need to be specific, they need to be measurable, and they need to be doable. Next week we want to cover the 3rd key for achieving execution, no matter what we're doing, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's in an activity or a sport that we're involved in. But execution is key. How do we achieve it? 3 keys. This week, set deadlines that need to be specific, measurable, and doable. See you next week for your weekly kick.